It's your girl Jaicaprie. It's your girl Jaicaprie. Jaicaprie. Hey. Hey, it's your girl Jaicaprie. Hey. Pass me a coffee, it's 8 a.m. Pass me some Henny, it's 8 p.m. Pass me a drink, I'm about to be frank. Me and my friends, we about to link. You already know what time it is. It's your girl Jaicaprie, and I'm keeping it $1.50. Ha! What, you mad at me? It's your girl Jaicaprie. What? What you mad at me? What you mad at me? Jaicaprie. Hey, what you mad at me? Girl Jaicaprie. How you mad at me? How you mad at me? Hey guys, it's me, your girl Jaicaprie, and welcome to my podcast. Don't ask me why I'm so extra. Why you so extra? Don't even do that. Cut the mic off. Stinky tips?
It's not no STD, it's just stinky tips.
I think it's like a sort of infection that guys get. I thought it was a yeast infection.
I've never heard of this.
Okay, well, I'm not.
Hi guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of A Buck and a Half. Today we have guests, and when we have guests, we have drinks. And today's drink is Merlot. And I have 4 ladies on this episode today. This episode will be called Woman to Woman, where we talk about several situations and conversations that relate to women's health, women relationships, and women's perspectives. I have first...
My name is Kim. Hi, everyone.
Hey, I'm Bree. Follow me at the Bree Johnson.
Hey, this is Andreana. You can follow me at officialblondie_ on Instagram.
Hi, this is Taylor. You can follow me at its_T_Marie on Instagram.
I was originally supposed to do an episode with a woman by the name of Bree Johnson. At Instagram, it's at the Bree Johnson. And normally what we do is we'll have a drink and we'll discuss the topic of our episode. We don't talk about what we're going to talk about, but we was discussing the topic. And I was like, girl, I just want you to be as honest and as real as you can be. And she was like, okay, well, I'm going to need a few drinks. So then we start drinking, and then the conversation with other women just started to happen. And I was like, you know what? Let me just put on my mic, because I feel like the conversations were just so deep, and I feel like a lot of people will be interested in what they had to say. So I really hope you guys enjoy this episode. If this sounds like something you'll be interested in, please continue to listen. If not, catch me on another episode of A Buck and a Half. Thank you, guys. Relationships and evolving. So what was you saying about relationships?
Hi, this is Kim, and I was saying that in relationships, you have to evolve. So when you want your man to do something, if you bring it to their attention, you don't need to scream it by going out and doing that thing that you're bringing to their attention.
You don't think, though, that, like, if I went and bought myself flowers and he walked in the apartment and he was like, damn, this girl went and got her. You don't think he would be like, oh, I probably should start getting her some flowers. Like, she been saying this over the last month. You don't think so?
No. What I would think he would think or say to himself is like, she didn't even give me an opportunity
a month
to get flowers.
A month? How much more of an opportunity do you need? When he asked me to cook dinner, it'll take me a month to do that shit.
Men don't work like that. They don't operate like that. Their minds don't work like
They're
that.
delayed.
You got to give them an opportunity.
Apparently by 30 days or longer.
I don't think that men are delayed. I'm gonna be honest. I think that men are way smarter than
Dying of heat over here.
Conversation's getting heated already. Go ahead.
People are sweating.
Okay. But I know, like, for me, one of the
like,
things is, like,
I'm not saying that for
not
guys,
a
even though I feel like I'm always
domesticated person. Like, it
saying
just
that for
ain't,
guys.
it just
But I'm just saying,
ain't
I
my
feel
ministry.
like
Like,
a lot of women like to say, like, men don't know what they're doing. Men are stupid. Why can't he do this? Or why can't? But like, I feel
it's
like,
a whole thing,
I don't
right?
know. I think sometimes a lot.
But
of
he is, like, down south, southern,
and
like,
that's why I agree with her. That, like, you need to.
am not gonna tell you that you should cook for me, but I would appreciate it if you would cook a meal, right? And so now, like, I cooked dinner for him. It didn't take me 7 months to do that shit. He said, I would really like for you to cook for me, and I was like, fuck, I really don't want to do this shit, but come on, let me go ahead and Instacart the groceries, and I'm gonna figure this out. He can Instacart my goddamn flowers.
Ooh, I think that men should buy you flowers though. But you know, I when I first started dating, I was like, oh, I want flowers, blah, blah. I hate that you have to tell guys certain stuff.
Yeah.
But then
No,
someone
you have to tell them everything. Not
No, literally. And how to do it. You gotta get them the whole roadmap.
You have have to spell it out for them.
But that's annoying. But there's some
I
guys
just
out
want
there
you
that
to read
know.
my mind. I just want you to do it. I just want you to do
I mean,
it. I know
I
you're
think-
gonna lay into me.
I think that comes.
The
with,
way you're
I think
looking
that
at
comes with growing and evolving with your partner. Like eventually, you'll get to that point where you won't have to tell them anything. But at least the first couple years, I feel like you're gonna have to be holding their hand.
And I feel like also the men like to use like, well, I'm not romantic as an excuse, and it's like, no, but you can learn.
Yeah.
You want me to learn how to suck your dick the right way. You want me to learn how to fuck you the right way. You want me to learn how to cook if I can't cook. You want me to learn how to fold the fucking t-shirt this type of way. You can learn how to buy me flowers.
Yeah.
You can learn how to write a card and put it in my lunchbox. Like, you can learn. You're literally taking the steps actively not to learn how to do this thing.
You learn how to read.
Yeah.
I have a question though. What is romanticism? Like, what does it mean to be romantic? Because I feel like that is like case by case. Like, some people have different opinions on what it means to be romantic. So I feel like a lot of time when guys say I'm not romantic, they're not saying it in the way like what we think. Like, some people think of romantic like buying flowers and drinking wine, but I think romance is kind of like sensuality, like being sexy, like always wearing cologne, like, or like complimenting me on the smell of my perfume. Like, I feel like that is romantic more than like flowers.
I think it depends on the person, like individually, like what they like. Some people don't like affection. Some people do. Some people, don't like gifts. Some people do. So I think it just,
For
it
me,
just
it's like,
depends.
for me, it's like thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter like who you are with. Like, you should know your partner and what they like, and you should be thoughtful in ensuring that they receive those things. So if I'm dating a man and I know that he really likes fucking sticky notes in his lunchbox, then I'm going to be thoughtful and I'm going to put a damn sticky note in his lunchbox.
But you have to remember that women by nature, we're nurturers.
Yeah.
We're born to be mothers.
Yeah.
We're put on this earth to reproduce and to take care of and to nurture things to grow. Our kids, our man, our family. Men are not. Men are here to provide. If you read the Bible,
But if I provide
men
for myself-
are here to provide and protect. So that other stuff that we want them to do, it comes with time. Not with badgering, not with screaming it out loud by buying yourself flowers. It comes.
I agree. I agree with her.
I just got ready.
You did get
agree
red.
as well, but I don't know. I also agree with the, you've heard of that, like, if he really wanted to do it, then he would do it. Or if he really wanted you,
I disagree.
then he would. I just really think it just depends.
I don't think that. Okay, we need to stop saying if a
Because
person.
some men were raised differently. Some men were raised by their mothers, so they were, attended to very, delicately and cared for in that way, and coddled and catered to and stuff like that. And some men weren't. Some men didn't have affection. Some men didn't, weren't raised in those type of environments.
I feel like being affection is a personality thing. Like, Taylor, I wouldn't consider Taylor an affectionate person, but she's sweet, she's kind, she kept a man for 5 years. But then, I think it's a personality thing, and you know who you dealing with. You can't be like, oh, I'm with you, the dick is good, you got money, but then you start finding problems, and I feel like that's what people do. They start saying, I want you to be this way, but people are only going to be who they are. Like,
That's not true. People change every
people
day.
change, but they're still who they are, and they change on their time, not on yours, not on mine. So I feel
But
like
if you start with you, then you might see the change in someone else. Because if you're focusing on you and bettering you and evolving who you are, then you may not get an opportunity to focus on all the negative things you feel like he's not doing in the relationship. And now he's evolving too.
I agree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is if a man is not affectionate, right, and you get into a relationship with him, and then you love him at first, and then 6 months down the line, you're like, this man isn't affectionate, I want you to be more affectionate, right? You can't be mad at him for not being affectionate. He's going to be affectionate if he wants to be on his own terms. You have the decision to be with someone or not be with someone, but that can be your deal breaker, because when you got with him, he wasn't affectionate.
But it shouldn't take you 6 months to figure that out, number one. And number two,
you knew he was
and
affectionate.
number two.
No, I agree.
No, and number two, right? if you're continuing a relationship that you feel doesn't have the affection you need in it, and you expect it to change, then you're wrong, because it's not going to change.
Yeah.
You have to decide, he's not affectionate. Mm-hmm. Can I deal with this?
Or, have that dialogue with them and, let them know that, I am affectionate. I want affection. Do you think you'll be able to give that to me in the future?
I also think, though, that there are instances, right, where just naturally, like when you get in a relationship, there are things that you provide to a person. Mm-hmm. And there are things that like this person may need that you may not necessarily provide. And like through your relationship, you figure out what those things are.
Learn.
You have those conversations.
Right.
And you learn, right? My whole, I guess, qualm with this, like, women are born to be nurturers and men are born to be protectors and to be providers, is that if I'm born to be a nurturer, then I'm also born to be nurtured. So if I give all of my nurturing to someone else and I'm not getting those things in return, then that depletes me. And so in our conversation, I have to be able to tell
it's
you
like I'm emptying my cup
to
not get anything
I have
back.
to be able to tell you what I need, and you have to be able to say, this makes me a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway because I love this person. I want to make sure that they're okay, that they're happy, that they feel loved.
Everything is about compromise.
Right. And I feel like sometimes men resort to their, I pay the bills. I bought her a Gucci bag. She should be fucking happy. Like, you ain't gave me a hug. Nigga, I didn't came in the door. I didn't cook you a meal. You ain't offered to wash the goddamn dish.
But that goes back to women settling for, a lot. He does these things for me, so I guess I gotta settle for not getting affection.
Mm-hmm.
But it also is one of those things where no one is perfect.
Right.
There's things that you do that probably irritate the
sure.
hell out of him.
I'm sure.
But because he loves you, he overlooks it. Or he deals with it, right? And just like you're saying, okay, well then I'm depleting everything that I have. There's no way to deplete something that's never ending. It's endless. Nurturing is an endless job. And when you become a mother, you know that. You guys are not mothers, so you don't know what endless nurturing really is. You'll never get tired of nurturing, loving, caring for. Even when you're on your most exhausting day of your life, you will still have room to nurture. It's not something that's measurable. You can't measure your nurturing way because God put so much in us that in a lifetime, in 2 lifetimes, you would still have room to nurture. So don't try to measure it. Just be that person and just worry about you. You brought it to him. Let him figure it out. And he will. But if you start screaming it and you start smearing it all in his face, you're going to make him reluctant to want to do it even more now. You gave it to him. Let him deal with it.
So you've never been like, because you're older, right? So you have more experience.
Yes,
like you're
we
coming
have
from this place
experience.
of wisdom that like that we may or may not
We haven't experienced.
Yes.
But it's so good that we
up in our brain. And so, from your experience, like, have you never been like, I'm giving all of this to this man, and like, this is the only thing that I need for you to do for me, so that I can feel like, not saying like this is how I feel in my relationship because it isn't, but just for like good conversation. Like, you've never been like, oh, this is the one thing that I need, and this would make me feel like
a deal breaker.
Yeah, a deal breaker.
And we can call it even. I just want to say that I'm so happy to have Kim, Auntie Kim, on the podcast because she is giving us the tea, the juice, and the read. Okay, so I hope that all you guys are listening out there, taking notes. Get your notebook and your pen, sweetie, so you can take notes on this podcast because she's gonna give you the rundown. And then we have Bree, and we have Anna, and we may have Taylor. Who knows? She sometimes get lost, but so we're gonna continue with the episode.
Of course, I've been in relationships where I'm like, if this person just gives me this one thing, I could be so good. Right. But if it's a deal breaker, then the deal gets broken.
Oh, that's
or you learn to cope within the deal breakers. And so, like, without putting too much information out there, my sister.